It was the May of 2006 when I joined the business. My recruiting consultant phoned me at the time and said that he had this job at a company called Masterplug. On my first day of joining the business, I got handed a Sony Ericsson hand-me-down laptop, which I think the entire account management team had used before I got it. The laptop was that good that if you unplugged it, it turned off. I was also handed a huge briefcase, a couple of catalogs, and I used to go to meetings with ties, so that just shows how long I've been at this business, 18 years. So weeks into actually joining the job, I actually realized I didn't have a job when I joined, which was quite interesting because there were no accounts for me. So I quite quickly had to fend for myself, went out there and actually opened 1 or 2 national accounts within my first 12 months. And realized at that point that this was really the right decision for me because account management came natural. I then moved on within the team quite quickly from junior account manager to account manager, so they finally dropped that junior, which was quite nice because the rest of the guys were all senior account managers and I was just this junior account manager. So in 2009, we were down to sort of 2 men actually on the retail side of things. So it was Wayne and myself. Wayne was looking after the more senior accounts at that time and I was looking after more of the junior accounts. But that was the year that I got the opportunity to actually take on Kingfisher, B&Q and Screwfix. So 2010 was actually quite an important year for us. It was the year that we rebuilt the team and Wayne actually stepped into a sales director role within the team and took the lead. It was also a really important year for the business and I'd say that's really where my career took off. And it's my most memorable sort of moments within the business actually was when we won the LAP business in Screwfix. It was the year that the Screwfix relationship really ignited in 2010. Myself and Dave Cleaver, I remember going down to a meeting with the buyers at the time with a couple of sketches and Fomex cutouts, and LAP was born. And that was really significant to our business at the time because we were going through a bit of a tough time as a business then. And I recall it was a Friday, I was driving down to Heathrow actually. I recall John calling me and saying, "Lee, I think there's an error, but the fax machine's going absolutely mental. We've got all these orders that are flowing through, but I don't think they're real. Could you find out?" And I said, "John, I think it's the LAP orders that are coming through." But little did I know what the value of those orders were. So I remember calling the buyer at the time and asking him, "Are we due to get these orders today? Are these the new LAP wine accessories orders?" And he came back and he said yes. And they were pretty amazing orders that came through. And it was an incredible milestone really that really started and cemented the relationship with Screwfix. But what I really remember about 2010, and some of you are quite fortunate enough to still remember this too, Craig in particular will really love this one, but it's the year that at the Christmas party, myself and a product manager at the time called Mark Rees got up and serenaded the entire audience to "You're Beautiful" by James Blunt.
You're beautiful, you're beautiful.
Basically everyone came to me straight after that and said, "Don't quit your day job," so I don't think it went as well. So yeah, but you guys should consider yourself quite lucky because with an extravagant event today, back in 2010, that's what you'd get. There's a couple of guys and a guitar. So fast forwarding a little bit to 2018 was my most proudest milestone, I'd say, within the business, and it was the year that I was made sales director. It's not something that I ever thought when I joined the business I'd achieve because I saw those guys as just way above me at the time. And it was a huge highlight in my career. It's something that I'd worked really hard since 2006 to get to. And the opportunity came up. Wayne had moved on yet again, and thankfully I was there to fill his shoes. They were pretty big shoes to fill. Wayne had had a great track record up until that point running the sales division, but these were different times. We'd just come from a private business into a public business, and the expectations were pretty big. We had a thing called a share price now that was pretty important to a few people in the business at the time. There was also a huge transition that the business was going through, so there was a lot of system changes. We had to adapt quite quickly as a team to work in different ways and different flows. So to reflect on my career at the company, and if I reverse back 18 years to that 26-year-old that turned up at the door, And I actually spoke to him and said to him, would you do this all over again? I think the answer would 100% be yes. I've had an incredible journey at this business. I've made some fantastic friendships along the way. We've had incredible time and we've been very successful. I think the entrepreneurial spirit of Luceco allows you to grow as a person, but also grow in terms of your aspirations if you want them. And I think my role really should be testament to that, in a sense that I started as a junior account manager and I worked all the way through the ranks to become sales director. And yes, it took time, but you just got to have a bit of patience. And if you've got the right goals and set your own sort of pace, you can make it happen.